Well, truly wonderful ideas and great ways of decorating your home out there. Now, we know that Africa is or has an abundance of unique fauna and flora. Our plant life is just as diverse as our wildlife. And this week on Into the Wild, we're taking a closer look at some of our indigenous plants. And we're joined this morning by Rupert Koopman from Cape Nature. And of course, we are going to be opening up our lines as well for you to talk to us about your encounters with beautiful indigenous fauna or flora out there. And the number to call is 083-913-3728. Thanks for joining us this morning, Rupert. How are you?
Oh, very well, thank you.
Excellent. So, indigenous plants, why are they so important to the biodiversity of South Africa?
Right, so South Africa's got more than 20,000 indigenous plants, so that puts us really high up globally.
Yeah.
And then also what's important, especially down here in the fynbos area, is the endemism. So that means when something is endemic to somewhere,
yes,
you only get it there. So our endemism in fynbos is almost 70%. So
70% of the plant life out there is only found
in the fynbos.
Here,
yeah,
in the
yeah.
fynbos. That's incredible. And some of them, I understand, these are edible plants. And tell us more about these edible plants and what functions
let's talk about the rares.
Yes.
So the thing about the fynbos is that a lot of things are in very small areas, and as a result, us humans can wipe them out very easily. So this is an example of something which was wiped out in the past before, Erica verticillata. We got it from our friends at Kirstenbosch Botanical Garden. And it was extinct in the wild, briefly went extinct in captivity, and then it's been a kind of, what would you call it, a plant hunt across the world. So there are now 9 different clones from different botanical gardens across the planet, basically. Most in Europe, one in America, and we've got one from here as well.
Wow, so these are some of the most rare that you'll find out there.
Correct, yeah, this is critically endangered.
Oh my goodness, and of course I think we can all just help in those efforts to conserve our plant life out there.
Correct.
And there's a bit of a wafting smell that's going on around here. What other plants have you brought with you?
It's mostly garlic, so we brought in this wild garlic, which is actually more from the Eastern Cape.
Looks nothing like the garlic that I buy at the shop.
Correct, but as you can smell, it smells a bit like it. It's a lot stronger, so when you do use it in cooking, you want to be using a lot less of it, because I accidentally put it in the pot with all these other things, and basically now everything has a garlic vibe to it.
Oh man, so that could make your plate look pretty as well, plus giving you that pungent smell.
And it's already grown everywhere. You can see it in road verges. Municipalities love growing it, and you can pop it in your garden.
All right, fantastic. Well, we're going to see if we can get some callers and have some people asking interesting questions about our indigenous plant life, our endemism, you say?
That's correct.
Endemism. I'm learning new things today. So give us a call on 083-913-3728. We'll continue our chat with Rupert very shortly.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back. We're live and in charge, baby, on SABC3. It is Expresso, and we're hanging out with Rupert Koopman from Cape Nature. We're being educated this morning all about our indigenous plants here in South Africa, 70% of which are endemic to our country and in the fynbos. You can only find them here, which I think is a wonderful thing to be celebrated. Earlier on, Rupert was telling me that we've got proteas, right? And we all know a protea. And I was looking around and I said, Rupert, well, where's a protea? Yeah. But have a look over there. That's arguably the smallest I've ever seen in my life.
So Timba Bavuma, but that's Diastella divaricata, so it's a genus within the Protea family, and this one is endemic to the Cape Peninsula, so you only get it on the peninsula.
Oh my word! Yeah. So, if you were to zoom in really closely, would you get that Protea look, if you will? Like, there it is, actually. So
no, that's the Lucaspermum.
Okay, so not that over there.
Yeah.
My eyes are deceiving me.
So that doesn't have those big bracts. So what you see on the big Protea, the scaly bits outside, that's the bract. And that's more flower than bract, yeah.
I'm now going to start calling that the Temba Bavuma, just like that. All right. And among the scented plants that you brought with you today, this one caught my attention when it was brought on during the ad break. It reminds me of a medicinal plant that my grandmother used to make us drink during the winter, apparently to ward off colds and flus and all those kind of things. But you were telling me it's something different. Yeah. What is this called, and why does it smell so strong?
Yeah, so that's our wild rosemary. It's in the genus Eriocephalus, and I mostly use it as a food plant, so it picks up nicely with lamb and butternut and that sort of thing. But it does have some medicinal uses, which I can't remember right now.
Luckily, you're not a Isangoma, so it's all right. It's all right.
Yeah.
All right.
Some of my best friends are Sangoma.
So we've got this. Okay, there we go. I'm sorry. Okay, I'll just let it lie down there for a second. I was very interested in this over here.
Right.
Tell us about this plant.
Yeah, so that's Helichrysum petiolare, also known as impepo or koikoi. So it's something which has got a very strong cultural and medicinal kind of background for most South Africans. That should actually be one of our national plants, I reckon.
Absolutely. Have you ever burnt any impepo in your life?
No, but Cape Nature, we do have a lot of fires in our reserve, so I guess that is a ceremonial.
Just have your own ceremonies right there while the wildfires are going on. And you were telling me about this one and how you sometimes use this plant as your own cologne.
Yeah, so that's also a Helichrysum impepo-related species, and it's got more of a curry vibe to it.
More of a curry vibe to it.
Yeah.
Let's just dab a little bit there, dab a little bit there. Who knows? Yeah. All right, and so we've seen the wild garlic. Yeah. What about this? Tell me more about what you have here.
Yeah, so this is Pelargonium tomentosum. It's in the geranium family.
Pelargonium?
Pelargonium.
Pelargonium.
Yeah.
Ooh, that is a very nice, minty kind of...
Yeah, pepperminty kind of vibe, iced teas.
Wow.
But all of these species, why we selected them, are things that you can get in most nurseries and stuff, and they grow easily, and they're water-wise.
All right.
Yeah.
Can we quickly just take one question that came through from Mary Ann Littlejohn, who spotted some Watsonians after fires. Can we have a look at those Watsonians? I think those are them over there.
No, that's... There we go.
There we go.
Cool. So these Watsonias are they're a bulb in the iris family. Yeah. But again, most of the species are actually in South Africa and mostly in the fynbos. Yeah. And they'll flower with or without fire, but especially after fire, you can see when it's clear like that, then they come out in profusion. So a nice place to see them is obviously Table Mountain, but on the N2 as you head up Solari's Pass,
yes,
because there's been a fire there again, you'll see at a certain stage in spring, like September, October, it'll be pink with this Watsonia.
Beautiful stuff. All right, we'll come back and continue our chat with Rupert very shortly. In the meantime, you can still give us a call on 083-913-3728. You and I think you should start using some impepo as your cologne. You've been smelling a little worse for wear these days.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
All right, we're glad that you're joining us once more as we continue our chat about indigenous plants. And we wanted to show you some pictures, Rupert, that we found from our viewers. For instance, Patricia Tongren showed us this picture of if I'm saying it right, a Spiloxine capensis that she found in Silver Mine somewhere.
Nice.
Oh, wow, it's a beautiful plant. Tell us more about this one.
So the name has also changed. This is why people don't like botanists so much. It's now Poridia capensis.
Okay.
The steriki in Afrikaans. And you can see it's also a bulb like the Watsonia, but it's in a different family. And it looks like at Silver Mine they had that fire a couple of years ago. So it's especially prominent now after fire.
And then one other picture that was found, or that was sent in by Luke Bax, one of our nature conservationists and nature lovers out there. We'll show you that picture. Ooh, look at that. What do we have there?
Yeah, so that's the blue dizer, which is kind of reaching end of flowering time now on Table Mountain. It's amazing.
Absolutely. And these are some of the wonders that you can see out there in our natural surroundings, natural environment, which brings our focus then back to the fact that we're talking about indigenous plants. Right. And why then are invasive plants or alien plants such an issue?
Yeah. So here's one. I was in the field in Elam yesterday, and this myrtle, Leptospermum levigatum, is becoming, or not becoming, it's been a big issue for the longest time. So basically, what they do is they grow into these dense kind of patches, and they overshadow all the plants underneath them. And then, unfortunately, when they burn a lot hotter than the fynbos does. So you start harming the soil and harming the seed bank as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what's Cape Nature then doing to try and help our home boys and home girls out there in the fields?
Remember, Cape Nature doesn't manage all of the Western Cape, so I'd like to spread that responsibility to all landowners and so forth. So everyone needs to have a plan to get rid of these. We've got alien clearing plans. Remember, also water is quite dependent on the health of catchments.
Yes.
So pine trees in catchments, for example, are taking quite a lot of water out of where are dams, right next to the mountains.
Yes.
So the water comes straight down. So the water factory is what we're looking at, calling these things.
And what about people at home? What can we do at home to help Cape Nature and other like organizations in, I guess, managing the situation?
Yeah, so if you're walking up in the mountain, you see one or two of these things, pull them out, You don't wait for for a government to get there.
Yeah.
Some of these things you need to like cut them off below the ground.
Yes.
So the pulling out and also reporting. So if you're walking on a reserve, report it to the nature, to the conservators there. But also the city of Cape Town has got an invasive aliens kind of reporting thing you can do. There's an online web thing called iSpot where people can register and put on their record. So we can start tracking these things.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Rupert, thank you so much
Kat.
for the education. Thank you so much for, I guess, making us proudly South African once more as we celebrate our beautiful flora out there that is endemic to our country. Keep those questions coming on social media and we'll take a stab at answering them next week when once again we go into the wild.